Hello everyone, welcome to my your programming club. Today we will be solving another daily lead code problem, and the problem's name is longest palindrome. So you will be given a string S which will consist of lowercase and uppercase letters, and you have to return the length of the longest palindrome that can be built with those letters. Okay, so for those of you who do not know what a palindrome is a string that reads same forward and backwards. Okay, so for example, let's say the string is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is the string. Let's say I am using digits instead of these letters. So if you read this string from this direction, it will be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and if you read this string from this direction, then it will be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this reads same in both of the ways, from left to right and right to left. Okay, these two are same. So the given string is a palindrome. Okay, so this is what a palindrome is. Now coming back towards the problem statement, it is mentioned further that letters are case sensitive. For example, capital A and small a is not considered as a palindrome. So although if the letters were not case sensitive, then it would have been considered a palindrome, but since we are considering the case sensitivity, so if you read it from this direction, then it will be a, and if you read it from this direction, then it will be a. Okay, so these two are not equal. Okay, so this is not a palindrome. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. And then before thinking of an approach, let's have a quick look at the constraints also. So the length of the string will be of order 2000, and it will consist the given string will consist of and or lowercase and uppercase English letters only. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will try to use the maximum number of occurrences of each character as much as we can to form a palindrome. Okay, for forming a palindrome, there are certain observations that you must understand. The first observation is there are two types of palindrome basically. If we are considering them with respect to length, so it is even length palindrome and odd length palindrome. Okay, even length palindrome and odd length palindrome. So even length palindrome, just like this one, the example that we just took, this example, the number of characters in the palindrome is even, so it is basically 6 characters. Okay, so it was a even length palindrome. So if you divide this palindrome into half, it can be divided into exactly two halves, and all of the characters will be either in the first half or the second half. Okay, but if let's say the palindrome that you are having is of even length, let's say the palindrome is odd length, something like this, ABA, then if you divide this palindrome into two halves, you will be having something like this. You will be having a third part which will be in the middle. It will be neither in the first half nor in the second half. So this is in case of odd length palindrome. Only one character can be inserted between the uh, two halves, first half and second half, in case of a odd length palindrome. Okay, this is one observation. And yeah, so we were thinking that we will, you know, use as much as frequencies of each number as possible, as much as possible. So for that we should be knowing the frequencies of each character. Okay, all the characters from small a to small z and from capital A to capital Z. Okay, so these two sets frequencies should be there. So by experience I know that if we take exact sky values of these two sets, then 256 size integer array would be sufficient to represent their frequencies. Okay, so for example, let's say the sky value of a is x, then let's say x sky value of a is 0 basically, then the 0th index in this 256 size integer array will represent a. Okay, the number of occurrences of a, and so on. So without further delay, let's have a let me bring the code here and I will be explaining you how we can use maximum number of frequencies of each characters or occurrences of each characters. Okay, so this will also save us some time. So let's bring the code to the board. So this is the code. First of all, as I mentioned that we will be having a frequency count of each of the characters that are there in the given string. So this 250 size integer array will be storing the frequencies of each character in S. So for example, let's say sky value of a is 0 hypothetically, then the 0th index will represent the 0th value, number of occurrences of a basically. Okay, so we will first of all populate the frequency array. Okay, populate this frequency array, and then after populating it, we will check what is the palindrome length. Okay, uh, so for making a palindrome, what we will be doing is we will be firstly check we will be having another variable if odd frequency exists. If odd frequency exists, then we can say that except these two halves in the palindrome, we are also considering one extra character in between them. Okay, so initially it is set to false. Whenever the frequency in the frequency array happens to be a odd frequency, then we will say that okay, odd frequency exists. Okay, uh, then for each frequency, well, irrespective of the fact that it is odd or even, we will divide it by 2. For example, if the frequency is 5, if you divide it by 2, then you can see that it will result into 2. Okay, so you can say that in both left, let's call this left half and let's call this one as right half. Okay, so in both left and right half, you can consider two pairs basically. Okay, so you can consider it as a single pair and this one as another pair. Okay, so you keep dividing it by 2. Okay, so then once you have the palindrome length, you will know that you have just counted the pairs. So to get the actual length, you should be multiplying it by 2. Okay, and we should also consider the fact that whether odd frequency exists or not. If let's say the odd frequency exists, then we should be adding 1 to it for the character that will be in the middle. If the odd frequencies do not exist at all, then this odd single character will not be present in the middle of two halves, and there will be only these two halves, left half and right half. So those are already taken in account for by multiplying palindrome length with 2, because we were considering the pairs. So this is how we will be solving this particular problem. And as far as the time complexity is concerned, you will be able to see that it will be of order 256 plus size of the string. Okay, so size of the string, let's say this is n, so 256 plus n. And as far as the space complexity is concerned, if you are taking this 256 size array, I mean it will you know always be of size 256, so you can take it as a constant. If you are not considering it as a constant, then space complexity wise it will be order of 256. Okay, so these will be the complexities, and this is the approach and implementation. And let's try to submit it once, just to make sure that it's getting accepted. I mean it was getting accepted, but just to double check. Okay, it's getting accepted, as you can see. So if you are still having any doubts or any queries in general, then you may ask them in the comment section. I hope this solution walkthrough added some value to your journey of honing your DSA skills. I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep practicing and keep solving problems. Thank you for watching.